The NSS unit of Guru Nanak Khalsa College, Matunga, presents before you an interesting and fact-filled video about the wetlands. Nearly 40% of the world's species live and breed in the wetlands. This World Wetlands Day, come, let's explore and learn more about these biological supermarkets.
What are wetlands? Wetlands are dynamic aquatic ecosystems found all over the world. A wetland is an area of land that is saturated with water either permanently or seasonally. Excess water in this area of land covers most of the soil, reducing the amount of oxygen and creating hydric soil. Even though the plants that grow in the wetlands are often deprived of oxygen, these plants have adaptations called as 𝘰𝐴 tiny air pockets found in the stems and leaves which provide oxygen to the roots. Along with these amazing plants, the wetlands microbe play an important role in helping wetlands to improve the water quality by filtering out nutrients and pollutants. Because of which the wetlands are considered as the Earth's kidney. Wetland also reduce flooding, prevent shoreline erosion. Wetland acts as a natural sponge, absorbing the water and slowly releasing it into the nearest water body. Water moves through a wetland. The sediment and pollutants stick in the wetland, making the water cleaner. They host countless species such as plants, birds, animals, and humans. Water moves through a wetland. The sediment and pollutants stick in the wetland, making the water cleaner. Wetlands can either be fresh water, brackish, that is partly salty, or saline. How are they formed? Although some wetlands can form relatively quickly, many others took thousands of years to develop. Here are some of the processes that form or modify wetlands. Flooding of coastal lowlands from rising sea levels has created broad coastal marshes that are protected from wave action by barrier islands or reefs. Coastal wetlands also form when river deposit sediments as they reach the ocean, plant and take root and hold the soil firm against the forces of tides and waves. River floodplains develop through erosion processes and through deposition of sediment on adjacent land during floods. Wetlands form on floodplains where periodic flooding or high water table provide sufficient moisture. These riparian wetlands may undergo constant change as rivers, streams form new channels and when flood scours the floodplains or deposit new materials. Glaciers help to create wetlands. Countless small wetlands form when large blocks of ice left behind by receding glaciers forms pits and depressions in the land. Many of these depressions are later filled in with water if they had a poor drainage and intersected water table. Other forms of nature can create wetlands such as earthquakes, waterfalls, coastal processes such as currents, man-made or constructed wetlands. A constructed wetland is an artificial wetland to treat sewage, grey water, stormwater runoff or industrial wasteland.
Types of wetlands: marshes, swamps, bogs, fells. Marsh is a type of wetland, an area of land where water covers ground for a long periods of time. Unlike swamps, which are dominated by trees, marshes are usually treeless and dominated by grasses and other herbaceous plants. Types of marsh wetlands: tidal saltwater marshes, tidal freshwater marshes. Swamps are characterized by saturated soils during growing season and standing water during certain times of the year. The highly organic soils of swamps form a thick black nutrient-rich environment. Forested swamps are often inundated with flood water from nearby rivers and streams. Sometimes they are covered by many feet of very slowly moving or standing water. Shrub swamps are similar to forested swamps, except that they consist of a shrubby vegetation. Mangrove swamps are a type of shrub swamp. Mangrove trees dominate their wetland ecosystems due to their ability to survive in both salt and fresh water. They have root projections called nematophores, which help to supply the plant with air in submerged soils. The roots of mangroves grip the soil efficiently which prevent soil erosion. Their extensive roots protect the coastal communities by acting as bioshields, especially during sea waves, tsunamis, and cyclones. The mangrove's unique roots protect the water from entering the human-settled areas. Fens, like bogs, provide important benefits in a watershed, including preventing or reducing the risk of floods, improving water quality, and providing habitat for the plants, birds, and animal communities. Bogs are characterized by spongy peat deposits, acidic waters, and a floor covered by a thick carpet of sphagnum moss.
Around 85% of Uran's wetlands have been destroyed. Recurring cases of mangrove destruction, 9,500 trees, and reclamation of wetlands have happened at Uran. Illegal landfills are on the rise. Land development and urbanization are creating concerns about the impact on the environment. Wetlands are under threat due to exponential expansion of real estate projects in Mumbai. Nowadays, land encroachment and land alternation are important aspects of threats. Today's scenario: wetlands disappearing 3 times faster than forests. The world's remaining wetlands are under threat due to the water drainage, pollution, unsustainable use, disrupted flows from dams and sediments dumping, deforestation and soil erosion upstream. Around 60% of the Panjay wetlands dried up. Environmentalists filed a complaint. This led to the HC-appointed State Mangrove Committee to issue direction to stop reclamation activities at Uran to protect bird habitats. On October 6, 2018, 𝐶IDCO opened 10 out of the 76 sluice gates. 𝐶IDCO Vice Chairman and Managing Director instructed his engineering team to open majority of the gates at Panjay. Of 76 gates, 70 opened by 𝐶IDCO and the wetland, mangroves and holding pond area were partially restored. Today, Panjay is the last surviving wetland of Uran. Why are wetlands important? Well, wetlands can be thought of as biological supermarkets. If there are no wetlands, it won't provide food that attracts many animal species. These animals use wetlands for a part of all their life cycle. Plant leaves and stems break down in the water to form small particles of organic material called 𝘳𝘪𝘴. This enriched material feeds many small aquatic insects, shellfish and small fish that are food for the larger predatory reptiles, amphibians, birds and mammals. Many species of birds and mammals rely on wetlands for the food, water and shelter, especially during migration and breeding. Wetlands provide values that no other ecosystem can. These include natural water quality improvement, food protection, shoreline erosion control, opportunities for recreation, and aesthetic appreciation at no cost. Wetlands store carbon within their plant communities and soil instead of releasing into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide. Thus, wetlands help to moderate global climate conditions.
Ramsar Convention on Conservation and Wise Use of Wetlands. Conservation on Wetlands, signed in Ramsar, Iran in 1971, is an intergovernmental treaty which provides the framework for national action and international cooperation for the conservation and the wise use of wetlands and their resources. Their mission is basically the conservation and wise use of all wetlands through local and national actions, and international cooperation as a contribution towards achieving sustainable development throughout the world. Under the 3 pillars of the convention, the contracting parties commit to work towards the wise use of all their wetlands, designate suitable wetlands for the list of wetlands of international importance, for example the Ramsar list, and ensure their effective management. Cooperate internationally on transboundary wetlands, shared wetland system and shared species. This convention came into force in India on February 1, 1982. India now has 47 Ramsar sites, which makes it the highest in South Asia. Recently, the Kavartal in Bihar, Lonar Lake in Maharashtra, Sursarovar in Agra, Chilka Lake in Odisha, Bular Lake in Jammu and Kashmir, Astamura Wetland in Kerala, and Sundarbans are some of the other Ramsar sites in India. Montreux Record is a registered wetland site on list of wetlands of international importance where changes in ecological character have occurred or occurring or are likely to occur as a result of technology developments, pollution, or other human interference. It is maintained as a part of Ramsar list. Currently, 2 wetlands of India are in Montreux Record: Koledo National Park in Rajasthan and Loktak Lake in Manipur.